Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we are out with the sprayer on again. We're not doing crop spraying, we are actually doing some grassland spraying. We're addressing some weed issues in both grazing and some of the hay cutting ground. So yeah, go around just addressing the issues there. So heading to one field now at the minute, and we'll have a little look and see. Hopefully it might be just spot spraying, but we'll have a look and see. Anything that we see anyway, we'll address it. But it's mostly docks, some chickweed in some of the hay ground, and not that much chickweed in the hay ground, but there is a little bit here and there. And another thing that we seem to have a good bit of this year is dandelions. Whether it's because of the weather or what, I'm not really sure. But we get to the field, we get the sprayer folded out, and we'll do a little bit of a drive round, and we'll see what exactly we can, what we can see, what we can find, and we'll try and nuke them. So let's see how we get on. Alright, so we're just spraying away here. First part, when I was coming in, there was the first part of the field, two little fields towards the front of it, and they had quite a nice covering of docks, so that got completely sprayed on the way in. And this back part now, where I am at the minute, there is a lot of buttercups in it. There's a lot of dandelions and all those like little small weeds that you just wouldn't want in your hay crop or your silage crop or in anything else. So I'm gonna go around and blast them and give them all a touch when I'm here. Yeah, you can see there's lots of lines through the field still. This was only, it was slurried about 3 weeks ago. It was fertilized, about 2 weeks ago we fertilized it, so it's just starting to come. And the aim with it is that we will hopefully be cutting this at some stage in late June, early July, if we get a spell of weather that is suitable for the job. So yeah, that's what we plan to do. So yeah, I'll continue on just spraying these few bits, and yeah, I'll come back to you then towards the end and just let you know how we're getting on and what we're spraying with. Alright, so we'll finish them couple of fields there now towards the front. We're now at the very back field, and there's quite a few docks in this. Now I don't know whether you can just see them there, because the grass is basically up the same height as them, but you can see them there just through it. So we'll spray all of this back field as well. I had intended to just spot spray it, but we'll just spray it all. I have enough spray in the sprayer that should do it, and at least we're going to be finished with it. We'll have a nice clean crop when we're cutting. Looks like mostly docks in this part of the field anyway. Maybe we'll go down further, we'll see those buttercups and dandelions starting to appear more, but certainly looks like more of a dock problem in this part. Okay, so what spray am I using? Well, I'm actually using Hurler. Hurler is a favourite of mine. You'd have heard me talking about it before. I find it very good on docks. It's not far off, in my opinion, it's not far off being as good as forefront on docks. And you haven't got the limitations with Hurler that you have on forefront, whereas you're not supposed to spray it and cut it the same year or put it in your silage pit, which I know a lot of people does, but it says that you're not allowed to cut it in the same year that you spray it. So yeah, I like it. As I say, I've been using it for probably 4 or 5 years now at this stage. It's not hard on grass. It doesn't knock the grass back like forefront will. It's not that kind of spray. It's actually a crop spray. So yeah, no, I like it. And it's very good with chickweed as well. So, and not as expensive as forefront. So I'm really flying the Hurler flag here. But yeah, no, that's what we're using. There is a little bit of a leftover of D50. I was spraying some D50 yesterday, so there's a wee bit of that in the sprayer as well. So all in all, should be a good kill for most of the weeds that we have. See now, just down this part of the field that I'm in, we're back to some of the buttercups, to dandelions. There's actually daisies in it as well. So yeah, there's actually a very steep hill in this field, and you couldn't slurry it. I have slurried it in the past. It was too wet this year, so it's just got liquid nitrogen about 2 weeks ago. So it's just starting to, you see it's greened up from when I was last here, and it's just starting to get growing. So yeah, that's where we're at. So we're going to finish off. I'll maybe set the camera up, get a wee bit of footage just as we're spraying away here, and yeah, we'll see what's on next in the agenda. Alright, so the other thing that's going on is we are doing a small construction job. Basically we knocked the back wall out of our silage pit. Why did we knock it? Well, it wasn't a mass concrete wall. It was built with blocks many years ago, about 25 years ago, before any of the other walls were ever done. And the idea of it was that the shed here was here at the time, and we put a back wall in it here, just built with blocks, 6-inch blocks built on the flat, roughly about 3 foot wide, and it was in an L shape, so we had to build just on one side, the far side. But we cut a bit more silage now than we did then, and we just need to make our silage pit slightly bigger. So rather than having a silage pit here, which we usually put our first cut into, and another silage pit here, which was most of the time not big enough to hold our second cut, we want to we want to have one pit that's big enough to hold the whole lot. So what we're doing is basically tuck the back wall out of this, extend the wall back here into the other part of the silage pit, the back silage pit, and just making it bigger. We're also going to extend the height of the walls. The existing walls, are going to put them up about another metre, or maybe just over a metre, maybe 4 foot. We'll see what we can do with it. So yeah, gonna leave the capacity a lot bigger, and should leave it a lot easier putting the silage in. You're not going to be building it up. Used to be the case, once you get up to the walls, you had to build it a bit on the sides, especially at the back, and there was a lot of work with that. We're even gonna, you can see it here, we're even going to extend the wall here on the shed side. So we're going to take it right up. We're going to move. We had the spouting used to be on the outside of the shed, and was always in the firing line for getting hit when you're putting in silage. You know, no matter how good you are, you'll always, going up the pit, there'll be some little hole or divot. Telehandler moves a wee bit to one side, bounces off the shed, damages the spouting. It happens to everybody if you're putting in silage beside a shed. So to eliminate that, we're going to move the sheet. We've cut the sheeting away altogether to allow to get the pans in and be able to put the concrete onto the wall. And we're going to move the spouting, the guttering in, that it's going to be over the wall. So it's going to be in line with the wall, or sitting on top of the wall, the new wall, when it goes in, and it should be out of the way of getting hit. The first thing you'll hit is actually the wall. Hopefully, we'll see, but that's what we're planning to do. So yeah, this was spaceport sheeting on this side here. It was taken off. It's going to be replaced with a wall, and then the sheeting that was up there, it was all cut, and it'll be going back in again. It'll be just sliding underneath the existing sheeting that's there at the minute, and it'll all work out, hopefully. So that's kind of what we're doing. Foundations is in, steel work is in, so yeah, moving along at a nice enough pace with it. So yeah, that's where it is at the minute, and we'll come back now straight away and we'll see. It'll be a few days has passed, we'll see how we're getting on or what else has been done. Alright, so it's a couple of days later and we're making some progress. Some walls done, so basically from the shed right down to the corner, and the wall here along the back is done to there. The next move on the wall will be set up the shuttering here, and that'll take us right up to the other wall. We have also a section of the wall here across is done as well. So yeah, just moving along nicely. So the next section, as I say, right over to the wall, and then a section then down probably the other way, and that'll be a big section of done. When the next move of the pans is in and is poured, it'll leave it small. It'll leave just the shed along here and a section on up. So yeah, progressing along very nicely. We will be putting, we've asphalt on the silage pit on that was that side of the wall, but on this side of the silage pit we hadn't asphalt. So what we're going to do is we will continue asphalt on up here to the new wall, and yeah, we'll get it asphalted just to keep it all the same. The other bit that's out this side of the wall, we're going to use that for tipping potatoes in, or most likely it'll be used for tipping potatoes in, but if we decided to do a little pit of stuff that included potatoes or maize silage or beet or something like that, we could put that in there as well. So yeah, that's kind of what that's going to be for. A little area like that will be very, very handy for the likes of that. But yeah, lovely nice finish on the walls, but that's only to be expected. The pans wall is actually still warm, but yeah, the pans are basically brand new. So yeah, just doing a really, really nice job on it. But yeah, all progress step by step. We'll have another update on it in the next video, just how we're getting on, but I'd say next update we'll be well on with it. It'll not take that long next week to get it finished off, and yeah, you'll see that in the next video. Alright, so it's basically almost a month later since the first video was done, and we bit of a change on the job now. All is complete and all is finished. Wall on this side was extended up to roughly around 11 foot, and the same on this side here too. Just extended the wall that was already there, just put it on up, and yeah, it just leaves it now that it's a little bit easier for putting the silage in. You don't have to start building it once you get up over the walls here. At the back here you can see the bottom silage pit. We took the most of it into the main silage pit because, well, look, it was two pits, and the bottom one wasn't really big enough a lot of the time for putting our second cut in, and then the top one maybe wouldn't be always full, so it was a bit stupid. So I know you're going to have the work of having to peel back the covers on it for putting in between first and second cut, but it's not the end of the world, and I think it will be a good job. We asphalted, so this here was all asphalted obviously back many years ago. I think it was 07 that this silage pit was done, so it was all asphalt at the time. It's the original asphalt. It's still in excellent condition, and there was no need to change it for anything else. We had the concrete from the bottom silage pit, as we used to call it, it was still there. There was a difference in height here slightly in the two pits, and we had to put a slight slope this way anyway for meeting in with our drain over here, which takes away the effluent into the tank. So it's still in the same place as it was. It was down here at the bottom of this here. It used to come down along this track right the whole way down, and there was actually a pipe that would go through the wall and connected into this, but we just took away the pipe obviously when the wall was taken out, and yeah, it just meant that we were able to use the same pipe. We didn't have to change any of the pipe hook that is under the ground out here at the bottom of the cow shed. So yeah, look, it was a very simple job, but one that should leave life a wee bit easier for us. The wall that was there was 3 foot wide. It's actually a man not over the road from us who done it, a neighbour, and done an excellent job on it. For the amount of years that's up, it never budged. Now there was 3 girders in the wall, which did help to hold it, but the blocks, I remember at the time when he was putting the blocks in, he was an experienced block layer, and he wet every block as it was going in, and it just welded them together. Even taking it down, it wasn't easy to take down. So yeah, great job, happy with it, and we're ready for silage. The other thing that we done too, you can see the roof of the shed. We stepped back in the roof slightly at the top, and we left it that the spouting is not the spouting, the drain pipe in the shed. I can't think of the bloody name, it's just gone out of my head, but we stepped it back in, that it's actually back in now past the wall of the shed. So the chances are, if you're putting in your silage and you had any wee bit of a sway at all on the grab, if you had it up, or the rate silage forks, if you had it up, it'd touch the wall rather than touch the spouting, so save the spouting. So yeah, not that we don't want to touch the wall either, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that is where we are with it. Yeah, ready. It's more or less ready now for putting in the silage. As I say, I washed it the other day. There is a few wee bits of, like, I think it's the oil that goes on the pans is in a few places on the tarmac or asphalt, and that it'll eventually come off. I power hose it, but it's still there. You might see there's a couple of little marks here and there that was done between when the track machine was in sitting on it, and even when I was taking out the silage. Sometimes you can put a little mark on it with the fork of the shear grab. When you put the silage in on this and it starts to ferment and gets to those thousands of degrees, it just completely levels all those marks out. Every year I've often put marks on it, following the year they're all gone. So it's a great job. The only place where it's anywhere the silage is sitting, it is perfect. But up here where the silage doesn't be, you know, cooking it every year, you can see it's starting to crack in a few small places. And then where there's a lot of traffic here, where the wheels is turning and machines coming in and out, it started to fray a little bit there. But we are going to put, now that it's washed out, well, actually maybe power hose out again because there's some straws went into it. Before we do it, I'll power hose it out again, and we'll put, you can get a liquid tower that goes into it and sets on it, and it just gives it extra strength there on top and stops it from doing that. But yeah, that's it. We'll have a quick look down the bottom, and I'll show you what we have more left with down the bottom. So down the bottom, well, this part of the yard here isn't washed yet, but you can see where the wall just extended out from the wall of the shed right up to the corner, and it leaves us this nice bay here at the end that is going to be very, very handy for tipping our feed potatoes. And it's about 14, I think it's about 14 foot or maybe 16 foot wide, and yeah, it'll hold a lot of potatoes. So as we are getting the potatoes in the winter time, or beet or whatever we're feeding, we're going to be able to put them in there, tip them in there, and it's a good place to have them. Initially we did intend to maybe take the wall right down and just butt it against the bottom wall here, but it would have left our pit very, very big, probably bigger than what we needed, and you'd only have the half of it full. So this was a better plan, I think, to have this area here for tipping the potatoes, or even parking machines. You could stick a couple of trailers into it, or a slurry tanker, or whatever, when it's not being used. So yeah, it'll be a good spot for that. So that is that. 6-9 is an awful way for a wash. It's been doing a wee bit of ploughing in the last couple of weeks. It's been on a dump trailer as well, and just different jobs going on at the minute. And silage is coming up this week. She's going to have to get a serious bit of TLC over the next few days, so a lot of washing to be done. So that's the update on today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. More silage stuff this week. Hopefully, if things all go to plan, we'll mow the silage out possibly on Wednesday and start lifting on Friday. We'll see. Depends on weather, depends whether everything falls into place, but that is the plan. So it's either Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, there'll be a lot of getting ready over the first few days of the week. I might maybe try and squeeze that into one video, and maybe put that up in around midweek, and then we'll have some silage video, and we'll see what we get up to then next weekend. So yeah, it's going to be a busy week, but time of year, the weather's good, it's what makes it, so we'll just have to see. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, to hit the sub button, ring the little bell beside the sub button. All the little bell does is gives you a notification every time I post a video, so it just means you don't miss the video going up. So when I post a video, you just get a little notification on your phone, and you see there's video there to watch, and you can watch it then whenever suits yourself. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video. Helps the channel, and I know I always say that, but it does help the channel. And comment if any comments or questions or anything like that. All these comments and stuff all help the channel too, so any of those things, appreciate it if you can do it. That's it for today's video. Hope to see you during the week. Silage will be a go. Let's get at it.